Technically, this is not a booktube, but the story I'm sharing today, I take it from a book that I read recently, Burning Down the House, Punk Rock Revolution and the Fall of Berlin Wall. And we're specifically going to talk about the story of Major, that's a nickname, Britta Bergmann, the pioneer of East Berlin punk, and how this East Berlin punk contributes to the fall of Berlin Wall. So start with the family background of Britta, or we call her Major, was her nickname that she favored to become the pioneer of punk rock leader in that region. So she saws that there's an oppositional politics in her family. Her family members hold different politics opinions. According to the book, her grandfather is a German communist and went to jail due to Hitler. And her grandmother is against dictatorship, against Hitler. So I don't see a very evident opposition politics in her family, but maybe we'll see later. And due to her family reasons, Britta holds the idea of against dictatorship, against authoritarian government. So after she went to school, based on her experience in school, based on her experience in this political or educational system, she thinks that her choices were being usurped by the state. Few examples. She thinks that she's being disenfranchised. She has no rights to vote, thus no chances to express her own will through election. She thinks that she can't read whatever she wants. That is a control of information to some extent. And she can't openly express opinions, and that is the issue of free expression. Quote from her, "I just want to be allowed to be an individual, to be who I am, to make my own choices." And that has shown her, initiative to be a punk. She wants free expression, she wants free choices, and she wants herself to hold self-identity that she wants to be. So comes the question, why punk is unique in East Germany? I mean, there's all sorts of punk around the world, as we know. There's American punk, there's the classic British punk, just like rock around the world as well. So it's mainly about what the contents they sing about, what ideas they are expressing through their songs. The British punks, they sing about future, they sing about socio-economic conditions, just like the rock in British did. They like to sing about society, sing about economy, sing about revolution sometimes. But in East Germany, they sing about their own lives. Why? Because why make them opposite to the British punk, as they have too much future, so they don't need to sing about future. This is mainly because of the social background at that time. They have a stable economy, and usually a stable economy would make the economic well-being, make the living standards of people there well, so they think they have too much future, a bright future. Economy system at the time held by East Berlin is command economy, followed by the socialism ideology of the Soviet Union, as we all know what happened after the World War II, that the Germany is separated into two political and economy system, and there are no unemployment in East Germany. Makes their life stable, makes them having too much future. That is a title of one of the chapters in this book. So what makes all these link to the fall of Berlin Wall? We will start to talk about the unique of punk. So we've mentioned rock music before, but different from the rock music, there are two genres of music, but rock is just rock. And punk, it is also representing a social group. People together sharing the same belief would call themselves punks together, usually young people. And quote from a British band, Shame 69, "If the kids are united, they will never be divided." The punks having or sharing the same belief of self-identity, freedom, being themselves, having their own choices, just like what Major believes, as we mentioned before. So together, this kind of social group are strong together, right? And they have the ability to make action. and they're gradually seeing as threats to the government, to the authorities. At the time when punks are having gatherings, having team meetings, police will always come and to accuse them with reasons of threats, physical intimidation, and arbitrary detainment. They will question their political beliefs, slogans on their buttons and clothes. We know that punks have unique clothes and style. Their circle of friends. Who are they sharing the same belief with? What are their beliefs? So from the police action, we can see that there is a huge political influence of punk culture and punk music. Even themselves didn't realize at that time. So there exists a political influence, a political power of East Berlin punk culture and music. So before, as we talk about, there don't seems to be a very evident political inclination of this East Berlin punk. From songs that are written at the time, we can see what they are standing for, what they are expressing. From a song, Wherever You Go. It is a German song but translated later. The lyric says that wherever you go, you're asked for ID. If you say a false word, you know what happens next. It doesn't matter where you look, cameras are everywhere. Accompanying you step for step, security always follow you. You speak your mind openly, and what will happen? You can only hope. Something has to happen. Who wants to stand around passively? Were you really born to be subordinate to it all? Okay, so it is very evident from these lyrics, and there's more songs written by the punks group at the time as well. Talk about being controlled over, being supervised. Gradually, there comes a movement or a social group originated from the East Berlin punks called IM, taken out by the initial. They write songs that defied state ideology. That is so evident now. They defied state ideology. And we can see that why the police, why the authorities take them as threats. So they are against the FDJ. That is a movement called Free German Youth, a young movement of German Democratic Republic, the GDR, and Socialist Unity Party of Germany. They end up in jail. These punks, these East Berlin punks that contribute to IM. It is very confusing that they're against democracy. They're also against socialism. And as we know that Major, led by Major, they're also against dictatorship, against authoritarian government. So which political system are they for? Well, actually, the punk seems to be neutral in all politics, right? They are artists, they are young individuals, they're not politicians. So whether which political systems are they're existing or they're living in, they want an environment, they want a society where they gain their rights to express freely, to sing about what they want, and to be who they want to be. So they don't want to be restricted just in East Berlin, in East Germany. They want a larger and freer world as Germany. So after the East Berlin punks that end up in jail before these pioneers, when they get out from the jail, this underground punk culture played indispensable role in the underground movement, and they contribute to the fall of Berlin Wall. So in the past, research or all the historical analysis of the factors that contribute to the fall of Berlin Wall, the group of punks in this punk music are rarely mentioned, but we can't ignore how powerful music can be, how powerful culture can be in making social changes, how they play roles in social movements. And we know that same whether punk or rock and nowadays the pop culture, they're all linked with social economy issues, with the individual's identity. And we need to understand that how important it is that music can be used as a tool to make progress. Thank you.